I was born in Montgomery, 1925, and lived in Montgomery till I went into service. And I went into service in 43. And then I left Montgomery on the train, went to Farmington over to Fort Snelling, and was inducted in Fort Snelling. So we stayed there about a week. And then we went to Camp Blanding, Florida for training. So I had 17 weeks of training in Camp Florida. From there I went to Camp Butler in North Carolina, more training. All infantry training. And then from Camp Butler I went to Camp Atterbury, Indiana, and joined the 106th Infantry Division. Then we went from there to Miles Standish to get on the boat to go overseas. We ended up in England, and then from England we went over to France. And we had one of them ships you had to crawl down on them ropes, just like the pirates. So we all had to crawl down on that with full feed, full packs. I guess we all made it, I don't know. I don't think anybody fell in the drink. Anyway, then we start making our way through France over into Belgium. And snow, mud, and rain steady. Never quit. Europe had the worst winter in history that year, 1944 and 43. Snow was up to your ankle or your knees, and we were short on ammunition and water, food, because they couldn't get it to us. It was too muddy. Everything was mud. Tanks couldn't pull them because the tracks was mud up, and the trucks couldn't get through then, so we didn't even have ammunition. I think I had, for my rifle, I had about 38 rounds, and that was it. We didn't have no machine guns. We didn't have no BAR, fast-firing guns. We didn't have no mortars. No Tommy guns or nothing, just M1s. So when you run out of ammunition, you're done. You either head for back, or if you could find your way, you know. But all our officers in that, they all got killed, and you didn't have no compasses to go anyplace. And there was no sun. You couldn't go by the sun because it was raining and snowing and all that stuff. Right. Oh, and I forgot about my army buddy from Wisconsin. He come there when the fighting was going on. He was a replacement, you know. I lost the guy that was with me. And he was standing there and shells falling all around him and everything. And he says, "Get in here, you damn fool, you'll get killed out there." Well, he was scared of me more than he was scared of bullets because I looked so bad. You know, muddy and dirty and wet. I'll never forget that. Then after that, we seen each other every year. I'd go there one year and he'd come to my place one year, until he passed away. But anyway, I did make it back a ways. We had about 5 other guys. And then we got together and we were going to take a town. Well, as we were going up down the road to the town, the troops that were in there, they already took the town, so we didn't have to go in. So we took off and went back to the rear main, and they were going to I don't know, where the hell did I go then? Well, I was still in Belgium. Well, it was raining so much and everything, and snowing and everything, we couldn't dig a foxhole and fill it with water. But we did dig a trench, and that was the worst morning I ever woke up, because it rained all night and I was laying in water. Geez, that was a terrible feeling. Well, then anyway, from there, we went back farther, but I got lost. The rest of them that were with me got lost or something, and I ended up alone. And I was going through these woods, and I heard music. So I snuck through the woods to see what was going on. I thought maybe it was the Germans having a dance or something. Well, anyway, it was a Red Cross truck, and they had somebody playing a guitar, and they were serving out donuts. So I stood behind a tree because I didn't take any chances, you know. It could have been, because the Nazis, they were dressing up with our uniforms. So, and then they direct the traffic the opposite of the way they're supposed to go. But one of our tank drivers, he knew something was wrong, and he got on his machine gun, he fixed them. They weren't directing traffic the wrong way after that. Well, they're supposed to get shot anyway if they wear your, if you wore their uniform, you were done too. Well, and then we were supposed to go back for a rest. Well, we were all tired out of the tank. We asked this tank driver where he's going. He said he's going back, so we asked him if we could ride on his tank. Yeah. But holy Christ, when we got there, there was nothing but had mud and snow. And tracks were kicking it all up and throwing it on us. And when we got to the destination, then we had spent about an hour or two to clean our rifles up, you know. After that, they decided to send us back for a rest. So we were in Belgium, and they brought up these cattle cars, and we got in them, and they took us back to France. As soon as we got into France, and that is where the train stopped to let us off, the MPs were there, and they picked us up, and we asked them where we're going. They says, "You've got to go and pay a fine." Fine for what? You're not dressed in a Class A uniform. Well, we just come off the front, you know. And we says, well, we just come from the front, we don't have a Class A uniform. So they loaded us in a truck. They took us to some judge someplace, I don't know, some army judge, fined us $15 and let us go. I think somebody was making a big stack of money off of that, catching all the guys coming back, you know. Everyone paying 15 bucks. Nobody argued because you wanted to get into Paris or whatever, you know. So then we got on, and I think the war was over then. We never had to go back to the front. And we got on Liberty ships. And Liberty ships are real small ships. They were built for 800 troops. And there was 1,200 of us on there with all our equipment. And we were in a typhoon for 5 days. Up and down and sideways, nobody could eat crap or nothing. But we made it to New York. There was 2 other ships with us, but we don't know if they made it or not. We didn't see them when we come into New York. So from New York, I went to, I went to, I think, Camp McCoy, Wisconsin first. and I was supposed to get discharged from there. Well, anyway, I didn't have enough points to get out, so they sent me to Camp Stoneman, California for points. So I stayed there. I was in the mess hall with the cooks. I was cooking steaks for the guys that come back from Japan and through there. And who did I run into but Levens, Bob Levens come. So he had a good steak on me. Then from Camp Stoneman I went back to Camp McCoy, and that's where I got discharged. Camp McCoy, Wisconsin. Then we went home. Didn't do much. Took it easy. And we were drawing our 52.20. That was $52 for 20 weeks that the government gave us. So after we spent that, then we had to go to work. So I went to work for hauling gravel first for road construction when they was building Highway 21. Then I went to work for Ford Bentley Motor Sales. I worked there for a year, I think, or two. Then I went to Rideout Chevrolet. I worked there for 2 years. Then I decided to run a city service station. So I was in that till 1960. And then I bought into a tavern, and I stayed there for 5 years. And the doctor told me I got to get out of there. I had too much smoke. So I got rid of that. And I went back on road construction. Best move I ever made. I got a good retirement. I worked there for 30 years. Same boss. Had a real good boss. I was at a gas station. This buddy of mine, he was a good friend of mine, always joker and stuff. And she come walking by the station, and he said, "I bet you can't take that girl out." Well, I says, "Why?" He said, "Well, you can't. I know she won't go with you. Now, how much you want to bet?" He says, "We'll bet you good drink." I said, "Okay." I jumped in my Model A Ford and I pulled alongside of her and asked her if she wanted to ride. Yep, jumped right in. I hauled her uptown. And after that we went out. And then 1949 we got married. And we lived in Montgomery on 4th Street Northeast all our days so far. Hopefully we got a few days left. And we did a lot of snowmobiling, family snowmobiling. I bought 2 Arctic Cats, I bought 2 Skidoos, 1 Skedaddler, wore them all out. But we always went with the family, kids and all went. Now they go too fast. Man, oh man. Yeah, that was in 1945, and I was at Camp Stoneman, California, and my grandfather died. So I went to the Red Cross and borrowed some money to come home. So I come home, and then while I was home, we organized the VFW. And that's how that happened. Then I had to go back to Camp Stoneman, and then after I got enough, was in there long enough, they shipped me back to Camp McCoy, and then I got discharged out of there. That's where I met Eddie. He was getting discharged out of there too. So now we're living the life of Riley. Well, we'd still be at home, but the wife got Parkinson's disease. And she'd fall and I couldn't help her, because she's pretty heavy as I am. So we had to come into here, which was all right. Otherwise, we'd have been still in our home if she wouldn't have got that Parkinson. but she fell a lot. And she's always trying to do stuff for herself, and she's supposed to, you know, and then she falls. Yeah, we had one girl and 2 boys. Keith, Linda lives in Prior Lake. Keith lives in Montgomery. He's retired now too. And Linda and Dale are both retired. So we're mostly all retired, or tired, or something.